I feel that, the retweets sometimes get him in trouble. So I said, stay away from retweets.
Melania Trump on Fox News offering her husband advice about his use of social media. Stay away from retweets. Social media has become a powerful tool used by all the presidential candidates. So who's been successful and who has been less so? For more, we're pleased to be joined by author and branding expert Karen Leland. Karen's new book, The Brand Mapping Strategy, will be available in mid-June, and she joins us tonight from Newsmax, New York. So, Karen, let's get right to a synopsis of the candidates' branding successes and failures on social media. And let's begin with Donald Trump. Your assessment.
Well, he certainly used Twitter well and to his advantage. He knows how to use it. However, I think the downside of it is that he's tweeted things that a lot of people have found offensive. And so he knows how to use it, but the content he's putting on it could be questionable. And he's caused quite some brouhaha with his content. And you've got to remember that in a social media world, anything you put out there, it not only can go lightning speed fast to everywhere and go viral, but it hangs around for a long time. So it's not like it's going to disappear or go anywhere. That's going to be with him, those things that he said, for a long time.
Ted Cruz has become more reliant on social media as this campaign has progressed. How is his brand being received via social media?
Well, I think Ted Cruz was a little behind the eight ball, and he saw the way Donald Trump was using social media, and he went, I better get with it. And so he started to use it more. I think as Trump's credibility has gone down a little bit with some of the recent comments he's made. Ted Cruz, won. I think Ted Cruz has seen a real switch in his social media where it's been really helping him and it's been increasing his message.
Very quickly, John Kasich apparently live streamed a town hall on Facebook. John Kasich, is he using social media effectively?
I think the thing he did in the town hall on Facebook was really a brilliant thing to do, because he basically took the media into his own hand and he created his own media by doing that. So he controlled, that message and the way that it went out. And again, I think he was a little behind the eight ball, but he's really gotten it and he's starting to use it. Now it may be a little too late, but nonetheless, I think that the town hall he did on Facebook was really a brilliant move.
20 seconds for one last tip for all of these gentlemen. What would you tell them to do to enhance their branding via social media?
The one thing I would tell them all to do is to be absolutely consistent in their message and their tone and their feel in social media, so that they seem consistent across the board. That's the one thing I would say they all need to do. And what they're speaking when they're speaking, their social media has to be consistent with that.
Karen Leland, author of the new book, The Brand Mapping Strategy. Karen, thanks for mapping that out for us tonight. We appreciate it from Newsmax New York. You betcha. Now it's time for The Way You See It, your comments via social media. A whole lot of you have written in about the RNC's role in selecting the GOP nominee. First up tonight, Daryl, who sees it this way. He asks, JD, what is wrong with these bunch of savage Republican crooks who think they control our votes? The GOP and Reince Priebus had better wake up before they destroy their own party for good. Voting for the least of two evils is no longer an option for most of us who want to see the establishment mafia stopped. Alan writes in and says the way to fix the Republican Party is to start at the top at the RNC. He writes, kick Reince Priebus out now. When you mess with the candidate with the largest number of votes, the party is going to have a serious problem. And finally, we hear from Brenda, who says she has the right idea for the next person to live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. She writes, I love your show, but I'd really love for you to be the next president. J.D. Hayworth for president. Now, Brenda, I have to admit that does have a nice ring to it. Don't know if you agree with that, but if you have comments for us, here's where you send them. NewsmaxTV.com/comments or via Twitter, where our handle is at Newsmax Prime. That'll do it for tonight. Stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.